Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. There's no question today's game could be defined by the passing game. The Cardinals are top 10 in pass yards, and they're going up against the Texans, who will need to be ready to cover a lot of space. So, with the call of this Week 16 matchup, let's hand it over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We find ourselves at the home of the world's first retractable natural grass field as you get a look inside University of Phoenix Stadium in Glendale. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Texans and the Arizona Cardinals. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Cardinal team as they get ready here. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And last week they put together a 3-touchdown victory and were never challenged in that game. Let's see if they have a little bit of a letdown here.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans. They're in a real groove of late. Winners of 5 of their last 6 games.
And the way they played last week defensively, you look at the tape, it looks like they had extra guys on the field, and they thoroughly shut down that offense.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback. And the D looking like they may blitz.
Let's go.
They go play action here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. And how might this affect him for the playoffs? We'll get a report when we come back. So certainly not what they were hoping for, especially on the road. Their starter forced to the locker room. And now all eyes here on the backup as he takes under center. On second down, Wilson. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted.
And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot.
They knew they were going to have great field position, went all out, got a little too aggressive.
And you have to understand your angles. They're cut down. When they're that backed up, you've got to be careful going after him.
Now a handoff, Johnson. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. So what will they do? On the ground, through the air, let's see. 2nd and 9. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot, you are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now it's Wilson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. The 30, past the 20. And he'll be down deep in Houston territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Defense.
A little eager there coming in from his outside linebacker position.
You think the hard count got him there?
Yes.
Maybe that extra hut, you know, that extra emphasis on it, got him to jump, and they picked up 5 yards.
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. It's the fullback. His first touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. That's just a solid, methodical drive to start this game.
And how about how it culminated? Doing exactly what they wanted to do, getting the ball downfield, and then running it into the end zone. I'm just telling you, partner, when you run it in rather than throw it in, that hurts a defense psychologically a heck of a lot more.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. The former national champion at Clemson bringing him onto the field, and that's the signal caller, Deshaun Watson.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
Oh, he's going to... Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. A big-time play there for the Texans. 43 yards. So a big pickup that time. And Charles, defending AFC Player of the Week, maybe bucking towards another award this week.
Yeah, and they say they don't really care about the individual awards. You and I both know
they do.
It means a lot to them. It means respect around the league. And if he's able to show those kind of hands all game long, he can win a second one.
Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he'll go out of bounds down inside the 15-yard line. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Mason. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
2nd down, 9 yards to go. And the tight end goes in motion left. They'll run again with Mason. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. So we're right back where we started. All even as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Texans defense heading back out now, ready to get their cracks again. And they have been disruptive in the backfield. Now, how often when we see this, as we look at some of these highlights, is it just better players getting in there versus scheme that is defeating the offense?
It's a great question, and I think oftentimes we rely on scheme. We fall back and say, well, the scheme broke down, rather than giving credit to the players making plays. But when the scheme does break down, you're looking at oftentimes just being overloaded. Too many guys coming from one side or one particular area, then you can actually block them. You know, if there's 2 guys there to block them.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On second down, Johnson. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
They get 20 yards there on 3rd and 19 and an unlikely first down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team.
Now a play fake here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Johnson on the counter. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. They get 5 yards on the run there. Still left staring at a 3rd and about 14.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. So on 4th down, here's Matt Darr to kick it away. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And here comes the Texans now. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
Come on, let's go! Let's round!
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. He's going to air one out. He's got a man complete. A huge play there for Houston. 43 yards. Play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
If you're the coaching staff upstairs, you might want to file that play away. Did you see how fast the safety closed on that one? Coming up in run support, made a big-time tackle. Might want to try and check into a pass next time.
Yeah, got him for a loss. Really, really great play defensively. Now they'll run it on the toss. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. More from the desert. After this, a couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. Here's Watson looking deep downfield. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now. Watson going to stay out there as they'll go for it on 4th.
Come on, let's go. Flick round, flick round, flick round, flick round.
They will indeed snap it to Watson. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And the Cardinal defense is going to get the football back. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, I've seen, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you're focused just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. And now the Texans want to call another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. To throw is Wilson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Here's Matt Darr now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. On the punt there. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say, maybe makes that offense feel good when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball. At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
on the ground again. It's Mason. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Watson trying to get his guys moving. To throw on second is Watson. He's going to float this one deep right side. It's caught inside the 25. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. Watson off play action. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Back to the air. Watson on second down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Watson trying to get his guys moving. The final shot before the break. Watson. And this one is incomplete. So a touchdown apiece. That's what we have to show at halftime as they head to the locker room. Happy holidays, Larry. Your gift? Take the halftime show off, partner. We got some football to get to. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. A handoff to start the drive to Mason. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
On second down, here's Watson. He's going to sling this deep downfield. This is caught at the 20. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Texans have taken the lead. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and they've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeves. They go to Johnson again. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
This one away by the punter, Dar. This is taken at the 18. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out comes Houston. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. Now Watson to throw on second down. He's going to go for it. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by Akella Witherspoon. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
Well, surprise, surprise, partner. No, we know it's not a surprise. When you try to complete a pass against this Cardinals defense, there's a reason that they are known as the no-fly zone.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Again, it's Johnson. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain. He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. It's a gain of 3, and it gets him the first. It's Cardinal football, but they trail here as we get set to bring you the 4th and final quarter. Throwing on first down. Bates. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding offense.
So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
To throw on second down. Bates firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
On 3rd down, Johnson. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 4th down. Here's Matt Darr now. He's been terrific so far. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Out now comes the Houston offense as you take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And right now, a lot to like on that screen. They've wrapped up the division, now currently sitting in the coveted number 2 spot. Of course, you'd love number 1, but if you can't have one, number 2 is pretty good.
I agree with you totally, and here's the other part, too. The really good teams, the really confident teams, they're not as worried about being number 1. 2 is fine because they feel like they can go on the road and win against number 1 if they absolutely have to. The big thing, though, is clinching one of those early buys and able to sit and get a little rest as the playoffs begin.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. And now here's a carry heading left. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Now they try the right side here. And some room to work. And he's brought down. Another 13 yards there twice in a row, and they're on the move. Another first down as well.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Ten yards still left on second down. Now Mason. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. So it'll be first down here after the run. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. Toss play to Mason. A beautiful fake. And he will be brought down at about at the 6-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. So the chains are on their sides. It's 1st and goal from the 6. Now they run. It's Mason. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Texans will add on to their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him and keep him warm?
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Texans say they have it. They do.
Well, that drive wasn't a case of wanting to put points on the board. It was needing to, having to, and they didn't get it done.
Yeah, didn't get it done, and now you look at the situation and the point differential, 2 scores, pretty much game, set, match.
How about the takeaway, though, huh? How about those defensive guys?
And now out comes Houston. Now, these guys hardly got a chance to catch their breath after the quick turnover, but I doubt they're complaining much.
Especially with the field position they get to start with. I wouldn't be complaining either. I'd want to get right back out there and get after them, because now you have an opportunity to make a big play. I'd say let's be aggressive and go after it.
Watson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. And it's caught. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
Now a handoff looking right. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Texans use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. And he knocks it through. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Texans say they have it. They do.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
And now out comes Houston. They take over with great field position. They've got the big lead. Most would say they should kneel it, but the key word there is should. You never know here.
You never know. That's the exact play that should happen. But some people like stats. You know, some people like to put more things up on the board, but kneel down is usually the right play here.
We'll see what they do in this situation. Second down, just 1 yard to go.
Flex round! Flex round! Come on, let's flex round! Flex round!
They'll run here with Mason. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action.
Let's flex round! Ohio! Ohio! Ohio!
In motion left, the tight end. Mason on the toss. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown of the game, number 9 on the season. And the Texans use this short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end that feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And he'll indeed get him to the line and spike it here to stop the clock. The Cardinals on 3rd down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 4. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
On 1st and 10, Bates. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they spotted at the 49. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Did he just clock that? Looked like he tried to stop the clock, but the clock wasn't even moving. And some extras coming up on the line here, readying for the blitz. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Bates. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Cardinals. A big play there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Cardinals get a bit closer. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Watson's going to throw it here. Going for the deep ball. And it's incomplete. Still throwing to the very end. But now this game is over. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you prime the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Texans, they continue to rack up the victories as this one moves them to 13-2 on the year. And they will head home next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, it'll be loss number 6 on the season for them. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. Good night, everybody.